Howard Galganov, and this is Galganov.com. It's actually video on Galganov.com, which seems to be quite favorable amongst a lot of the people who read my blog on a regular basis. The other day I wrote a blog that had to do with someone at our shooting range, a leftist, who out of nowhere started telling me about all the stuff that he knew. Didn't bother me that much to hear all the stuff that he knew nothing about. What bothered me was how quickly he was to assume that being a Canadian, I'd be just downright against Donald Trump, as he was, which was really, I don't know why he would assume that, but then again, so many Canadians are so far to the left. The reality is that this guy had no idea what he was talking about. He talked about Trump being a usurper. He talked about Trump being a guy who's gone bankrupt and stiffed everybody he did business with. He talked about Trump as being this billionaire who shouldn't have the right to become wealthy from what he's contributed in life. That kind of blew me away. I've worked really hard. Ann and I have both worked really hard our whole life to be able to become rich. Now, we didn't succeed. We're not rich. Like everybody else, we struggle. We're very happy just to get by most of the time. However, this guy seems to think that people who run a business, who take all the risks to set up a business, who work, I can't even imagine the amount of hours we put into our companies. I can't even imagine how much money we didn't make while we were trying to build our companies. I can't even begin to tell you how many sleepless nights Ann and I both have had. I can't even begin to tell you about all the times we couldn't take a salary because there was no money to take a salary with. Yet we paid our staff. We borrowed money on credit cards to pay our staff. I mean, we're not the only people, and we're not the first, and we're not the last people who are entrepreneurs who've done something like this. But it really bothers me enormously when someone sits down and assumes because you've got money or because you've made it that somehow you don't deserve it, that you haven't earned it. Donald Trump started off with a couple of $1 million, but I know a lot of people whose fathers have left them millions of dollars and they squandered it. Trump took the money he had and he parlayed it into billions of dollars in assets, and what he has in his bank account really is not my business, it's not your business, it's not the government's business, it's certainly not the Democrats' business, it's not the voters' business. He earned it himself, unlike Hillary Clinton, who used her office, who used her name, who used her position, her status, to literally rape the American people by selling all kinds of privileges and rights to foreign governments and to business people who never earned it or deserved it. It's incredible, again, to me, how someone like this can turn around and say, well, Trump doesn't deserve it. He has created thousands of jobs. Oh, he has thousands of employees right now. He's probably created tens of thousands of jobs, and there's probably tens of thousands of people who are working today as a spin-off because of what Trump has managed to build. And he didn't just build it for himself. He built it for himself, his children, his family, and for the American people, because everyone benefits when Trump benefits. When people who've made their money the old-fashioned way, by taking risks, by working hard, by not sleeping at night, by doing whatever it takes to build an empire, to build a business, to build anything, even a mom and pop store. It takes a lot. And guys like this person who we met at the range, he couldn't have a clue. As you can see, by the way, it's quite windy out today. We decided we'll shoot the video from a different vantage point. I think you can probably see the horses behind us. It's also quite warm. It's probably 90 degrees in the sun. Right now it's 80 degrees in the shade, so that's why I'm standing where I am. There's a whole bunch of people who are now saying, well, Donald Trump should shut up, and he should stop taking the bait, and he shouldn't say anything, and he shouldn't answer every insult with an insult, and he shouldn't, well, why shouldn't he? Look what he did to all of those people who competed against him for the nomination of the Republican Party. They said the same thing then. Now let me tell you about Hillary Clinton. She's got nothing to stand on. She can't stand on her reputation because people really think she's a liar. They also think she's untrustworthy, and they're right. And think about the things that we know about where Hillary Clinton lied. She lied about taking sniper fire in Bosnia when she was with her ne'er-do-well daughter. She lied. It's on video. She lied. Yet the people, the left, the media, the jerks who would vote for her no matter what, well, that's okay, I guess. She lied about Benghazi. She really lied. She talked about a video being responsible for the slaughter in Benghazi. That was an outright lie. She knew it was a lie. She knew it was a lie when she said it to the families of the victims who died under her watch. That was an outright lie. And then she lied to Congress. She lied to the American people. She's still lying about her emails. She's lying about whether or not she sent out emails that were top secret. She's lying about the emails that she deleted, about 30,000. Who the hell knows how many emails she deleted, and nobody knows what was on that. Then again, I have a feeling there are enough people who know what were on those emails. There's a good chance that those emails are available through, well, one means or another, and they might surface before the election is called, or the election is held, rather. She's a liar. Now, they talk about Trump being untrustworthy. Well, why is that? Because he's gone bankrupt? Well, I've gone bankrupt. I'm not untrustworthy, I assure you. That I do everything I possibly can to tell the truth, and I worked really hard at it. Because the guys in business and he failed, so what? Some of the greatest business people have failed. Walt Disney failed God knows how many times. People who work and try fail. The ones who don't fail are the ones who never risk. Those are the ones who live off the system, like most of the bureaucrats and the politicians. They don't fail. How can they fail? Why should they fail? They sit down and they take your money, they take your perks, they take your pensions, and they have jobs that are secure for life. Sure, they won't fail. But they talk about Trump because he went bankrupt. They talk about Trump because maybe some people didn't get paid. Well, they don't know that. There's all kinds of propaganda. Nobody knows. They talk about him lying. Lying about what? What did Trump lie about? Did he lie to the American people about things like Benghazi, about things like emails, about things like being shot at in Bosnia? God knows what the Clintons have lied about. Listen, Bill Clinton is no stranger to lying. He was impeached for lying. He lied to Congress. He lied to the American people. He lied in front of the cameras. He didn't blink. I mean, these guys, the Clintons, are professional liars. And all the people are saying, well, Trump better shut up, or Trump better do this, or Trump better do that. He's doing just fine. Don't believe the polls. Don't believe the leftist media. Don't believe the crap that you read and the crap that you hear, because he's doing just fine. He's doing fine with the only people who count. It's the American people, the people who actually get to vote, the people who are going to decide who the next president of the United States is going to be. Forget about these rich guys, forget about the Hollywood types, forget about all these guys who seem to know better than they only have one vote. The only thing that I'm really worried about is voter fraud. That bothers me enormously. You know, when Virginia, I think it was Virginia, all of a sudden decided to let 200,000 or 300,000 convicts who are, they're not entitled to vote, they shouldn't be entitled to vote, who are just released, who can now vote. That bothers me. It bothers me that all of a sudden voter ID in 3 states, Texas being one of them, was struck down by leftist courts. That bothers me. It bothers me enormously that I don't trust the left. I don't trust the Democrats. I don't trust the people who we should be trusting, the people who we entrust to make sure that our democracies work and are level and even for everyone. That bothers me enormously. Anyways, I'm Howard Galganov. This is Galganov.com. This is video on Galganov.com. Please spread the word. Tell your friends, because that's the only way we're going to grow this medium. And let me tell you something. I think it's making a difference. Because when you try to send this video off by Facebook, chances are it's not going to work. Because Facebook doesn't like this kind of message. Take good care and have a great day.